Film Review Hillbilly Elegy, 2020. Hillbilly Elegy is a film based on the novel of the same name by J.D. Vance. Hillbillies in popular culture have usually been represented as figures of fun, even ridicule. Older listeners will remember The Beverly Hillbillies, a TV comedy series based on a family from the Appalachian Mountains when oil was struck on their land, producing untold riches. They moved to California and continued to live like hillbillies in, of course, Beverly Hills. More affectionately, Don McLean's good old boys drinking whiskey and rye were clearly hillbilly types, albeit from further south. The hillbillies represented in this film could scarcely be more different. So who were the hillbillies? Descended mainly from Scotch and Irish Protestant settlers who had ventured westward into the Appalachian Mountains from the 1750s onwards, they had lived primitive lives in small, isolated mountain settlements with a good deal of inbreeding. The Appalachian Mountain chain stretches north to south from the Canadian border to the northern counties of Alabama and Georgia, but the hillbilly heartland is centered on West Virginia and the eastern areas of Kentucky, Tennessee, and Ohio. The discovery of coal in the 19th century led to major industrial developments in this still mainly rural and scenic region, but they were concentrated in small towns and villages. To this day the region has no large cities. Marked by violent industrial strife, impoverished by the Great Depression and, after a brief period of prosperity, suffering from the effects of post-industrialization from the 1980s, it has the lowest living standards of any region in the USA. In racial terms it has remained overwhelmingly white. This is the hillbilly country depicted in the film, poor, white, backward and devastated by an opioid epidemic. The film is set around Jackson, eastern Kentucky, and the small industrial town of Middletown, Ohio. A review in AP News described the book on which the film was based as an election year explainer, 2016, to liberal America about the white underclass that fueled Donald Trump's rise. The film is autobiographical, based on the experiences of 3 generations of one family. Mamor, Glenn Close, the grandmother who holds the family together, Beverly, Amy Adams, her daughter, and J.D., Gabriel Vasso, Beverly's son and the author of the novel. J.D. has progressed from a troubled childhood, enlisted as a Marine and used the money earned to work his way through Ohio State University. His scheduled interview for a post in a prestigious firm on Wall Street is jeopardized by an emergency call from his sister back home. Their mother has succumbed yet again to an overdose of drugs. The family story is told through a series of flashbacks to his childhood and adolescence. It is moving and, at times, frightening. The film had a mixed reception, with nominations for both the Golden Globe and the Golden Raspberry. Close became the 3rd performer in history to be nominated for an Academy Award and a Golden Raspberry for the same performance. The film was criticized for perpetuating stereotypes about the poor and praised for its realism. J.D. Vance himself is an aspiring Republican politician considering a run for the United States Senate in 2022 representing his home state of Ohio. A successful venture capitalist, he is being tipped as a future presidential candidate. He will be 44 in 2028. Indeed, some regard Hillbilly Elegy as a promotional film with this in mind. Watch it, it's on Netflix, and see for yourself. Reviewed by Henry Falconer.